The biggest benefit to the merger with Loring Ward has been there have been so many cool people to come into our lives as colleagues, and I'm about to introduce one that's going to really turn things on our head today. Theron Schaub, he's the VP of Strategic Relations at Loring Ward, and he is the perfect example who has found a way to blend a personal passion with his professional path. And probably the only person in the room who can rightfully claim to be a financial advisor and a magician. And for the next 30 minutes, he's going to show us both of those talents. So please join me in welcoming Theron Schaub.
Hello, hello. How are we? You guys ready to have some fun? Yes? Let's hear it from this side over here only. Ooh, I like that. How about this side over here? Let me hear it. Ooh, what about the middle row? Not just this guy. Well, welcome, guys. My name is Theron Schaub. I am Vice President of Strategic Relations for Legacy Loring Ward. I'm also a professional magician. I travel all across the country presenting magic and incorporating messages into magic, telling compelling stories. And that's what we're going to do here today. The last session talked a lot about experience. I'd like to show you what experience looks like right now, okay? So, that being said, I'd like everyone to stand up. If you have something in your hands, put it down. We've been sitting all day. I want to do a quick stretch with everyone here right now. If you have something in your hands, put it down, but everyone stand up. Excellent. You're going to put your arms in front of you like this. Put the thumbs down and then cross your arms. Interlock those fingers together, a little bit higher. Perfect. Take those thumbs that are starting to point down and stretch them to the side. Go all the way up to the top and then back down the other side. How do we do? All right, don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Stay standing, though. Stay standing. All of you should have been passed out one of these little poker chips. Grab your poker chip right now. If you do not have a poker chip, raise your hand. People in the aisles will get you a poker chip. We are going to do a series of 4 flips with this poker chip. You're going to notice that there's 2 sides on it. One side says luck versus skill, has a little clover on it. The other side has the bank logo. Here's what's going to happen. After our flips, if the clover side lands heads up, you're going to sit down. If the bank logo lands heads up, you're going to stay standing. Does that make sense? And we're going to do this 4 times. But before we start, we have about 300 people in this room. I'm going to make a little prediction right here. Perfect. All right, we're ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, flip your coin. Flip number 1. Do it now. If you get the clover, please sit down. If you have the bank logo, please stay standing. Excellent. Excellent job, everyone. Let's do flip number 2. Flip number 2. If you get the clover, please sit down. If you have the bank logo, please stay standing. Let's go with flip number 3. Flip number 3. If you get the clover, please sit down. If you get the bank logo, please stay standing. Flip number 4. Last flip, guys, all together. If you get the clover, please sit down. If you get the bank logo, please stay standing. Okay, how many people do we have left? I'm going to count the standing. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We have 17 people left standing, all right? It's interesting. What did I write down here? 17. Have a seat. Thank you. Now, wait a second here. Some of you are thinking, wait a minute, that's not magic. That's simply just math. And you would be right, because the odds at flipping heads 4 times in a row is 6.25%. And with roughly 300 people in here, we should have about 17 people standing. However, as it relates to investing, you have better odds at flipping heads 4 times than active fund managers do at staying in the top half of their quartile 4 years in a row. Allow me to illustrate. A recent survey that was just conducted, it looked at 252 active fund managers that were in the top 50% of their peer group, and they wanted to see if those 252 were able to stay in the top 50% 4 years later. After 4 years, only 9 remained, which is just above a 3% chance of success. Had you just flipped a coin, randomly odds would give you a better success rate. Now, I'm not here today to tell you that active management doesn't work, but it does. There's just two things with it. One, it has extremely low odds of success. And two, when it does work, it's very difficult to ascertain if that luck is derived by skill or luck. So, in today's presentation, we're going to talk about a different investment philosophy that has much higher odds of success. And we're going to do it through a series of stories and sketches and some magic, all right? And that being said, I do need to borrow someone here from the audience. We need a gentleman. The gentleman right here with the jacket on, would you mind joining me up on stage? Give this gentleman a big round of applause. He joins me up on stage, everyone. Hey, Rob, come over here. Right here for me. And your name?
Rob. Oh, yeah.
Nice to meet you, Rob. I'm Theron Schaub. All right, thanks for coming up. All right, so this is going to be a fun game. You actually have an opportunity right now, Rob, to win $300, okay? There it is, $300. So this money is yours, but you have to give me an opportunity to win the money back, okay, and you got to play by the rules. Right. Sound good? Why don't you just put this right here in your upper pocket so we can see the cash? Yep, excellent job. Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to play a game that most of us have all played. It's called Which Hand. Now, if I were to randomly give you this coin right now and ask you to put the coin in one of your hands and hide it, most people would randomly choose a hand, and most wouldn't really care. However, when there's enough money on the line, enough to actually make you care about the outcome, it's impossible for you to conceal your emotions. They leak through, all right? And I can pick up on that. I know this works. I've done the research. Works every time. So, Rob, take the coin, place both hands behind your back, all right, and you can face me, and then make sure the coin passes between hand to hand, and at some point, stop passing the coin from your hands, and then come out with both hands in front of you. He's really focused because there's money on the line. You good? Now, are you left or right-handed?
Right-handed.
You're right-handed. So most people start with their dominant hand. They don't start with a non-dominant hand, but you are not like most people. You started with your non-dominant hand. Turn this hand over. Open up the left hand for me. This one right here. What did we get?
This one?
The other one, sir. Oh, there's the coin. Yeah, perfect. All right. I'm going to take one of these hundreds back. That's one for me. Okay. Perfect.
I'm still winning.
For now. All right, Rob, round two, my friend. Take both hands behind your back. Pass that coin from hand to hand. The coin has to be in one of your hands, by the way. All right, if you throw it in your pocket, it doesn't work. And when you're done, come out with both hands in front of you. Good to go? So the first time you hit the coin here, the urge to switch it right now is extremely high. Most people switch it, but you're not like most people. You kept the coin here, all right? Open up this hand again and show everybody the coin. No, I don't. Okay, that's the second 100 for me. Great, thank you so much. All right. One more to go, my friend. All right, Rob, both hands behind your back one last time, and pass that coin from hand to hand. And whenever you're ready, make sure it's in one of those and come out with both hands like this, okay? Good. Can you cross your arms for me? That's really interesting. Now notice, more like this. All right, perfect. Now notice, guys, that the left arm, okay, is underneath the right arm. Most people hide the coin or hide the guilt underneath the positive arm. But like I said, he's not like most people. Open up your right hand, the one on top, and show us the coin for the very last time. How'd we do?
You sure you don't want to see this one?
I don't, no. Show him a coin. There's the coin, ladies and gentlemen. There's the other 100. Oh, thank you, Rob. Rob, I got something for you. Thank you very much for coming. I got a Starbucks gift card for you, Rob. It's empty, but if you put $10 on it, you can buy $10 worth of Starbucks. One more time for Rob, okay? How are we doing so far, everybody? Perfect. We're just firing this up. Well, welcome. We're going to have some fun here today, and I'd like to dive right into this to talk about our first drawing of the day. And we're also going to be using this book here, 27 Principles Every Investor Should Know. You all received a copy of this book, and I will be referencing this book throughout the presentation today. But first, let's get into this. We have developed a process at Loring Ward called Design, Build, and Protect. And it's an advisory process that we have been training advisors on for the last 30 years. And what I've done is taken it off of a PowerPoint and made it from a more experienced standpoint, because science has proven that when you draw, scientifically proven to drive engagement. And that's what we're all talking about here today, to try to improve engagement. It's broken down into 3 easy steps: design, build, and protect. I'm going to illustrate that here with a bridge. If we were going to draw a bridge to your retirement, we have to break it down into 3 easy steps. If we're over here and we want to get to the retirement. Step number 1 is to design the bridge. We have to understand how long this bridge has to be built, how deep we have to build it, how long the bridge has to last. Similar to when we build investment plans for our clients, we have to understand and ask them a bunch of questions to get to know them, to understand what their goals are. It may not be retirement, it may be something completely different. After we've designed the bridge, then we have to go out and build the bridge. Oh, there's a little fly right there. We have to figure out what the best materials out there are. Are we going to build this bridge out of wood, concrete, steel, in order to accomplish the design that we have laid out? Similar to when we build investment plans for our clients, we have to go out to the market and find the absolute best investment vehicles that we know how, that gives us a portfolio that has the highest probability of success in capturing our clients' goals. And lastly, we need to protect it, because we can build the best plan in the world or the best bridge in the world, but if we don't maintain that bridge, it's going to crumble. A little known fact, the Golden Gate Bridge is maintained 365 days a year. They start painting the bridge on January 1st. They end December 31st. January 1st, they start painting that bridge again. Kind of interesting. Little fun fact about me, I just got married last month. Thank you. My wife and I met with an estate planning attorney to develop our estate. And before our first meeting, their office sent us a whole bunch of documents to fill out. And this was a fact-finding mission. And it was literally just where are your assets, where are your liabilities, things of that nature. It wasn't personal at all. And it was a real-life example how most advisors in our industry do discovery. They start with it and they treat it like a fact-finding mission. Well, us at Loring Ward have developed a wonderful document called the 360 Life Map. Vince Crivello talked about this document a little bit earlier. And what this does is it flips discovery on its head. And it starts with a life-first conversation and then backs into the financial instruments. And it has been proven to the advisors that we've trained that it has been significantly improving the client retention and the experience that they deliver in their meetings. This is just a small part of our entire discovery process, but the life map is sort of that blueprint that we all start with. Now, what's fabulous about this is it's in a transformational period right now. We are combining the life map from Loring Ward with, I believe it's called the mind map or the family tree from BAM, and we are merging these 2 documents together. And tomorrow at 1:30, Vince will be unveiling some of the new things that we have developed with the merger of these 2 documents. So I implore you to go check out Vince's talk tomorrow at 1:30 about this. So at the top, you're going to notice these life categories: clarify vision and future, balance work and life, create a financial comfort, help and protect my family, and building a legacy. These are those life areas where you should start with a conversation. And then down below, like I said, we have the actual subcategories and different types of financial instruments that we use to link these together, okay? I want to share with you a visual representation of kind of what that looks like now. Who knows what this is? A Rubik's Cube. Does anyone know how to solve the Rubik's Cube out here? Anyone? Yeah, one person in the back, okay. Who knows the world record for solving the cube? It's 4.7 seconds. It's held by a 21-year-old kid named Felix in the 2018 Rubik's Cube Speed Championship. I'm going to attempt to beat Felix's time today. You guys want to see that? Yeah. Fabulous. You, sir, in the front row. Todd, I'm going to toss this to you. Can you catch this? Great. Can you just mix that up for me? Mix it up. And I need a timer. Can someone act as a timer? You can stay seated, but if you can grab your stopwatch out right here, great. Can we get her a mic for me as well? And what I'd like you to do is give us a 3-second countdown in a minute, and then we're going to say go. Does that make sense? How's the mixing going? Fantastic. Excellent. Good to mix? Happy? Thank you, sir. That's the most difficult part of the show. All right. All right, so do you have the timer set to 0 for me?
It'll count down.
Perfect. So you're just going to say 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to start solving. I'm going to put the Rubik's Cube in the bag of mystery. Excellent. What? All right, 3-second countdown and we'll go. Go for it.
3, 2, 1.
Done. Thank you very much. All right, yeah, the other one's inside the bag. Yes, I know. A little bit of a joke. All right. But I think that's really impressive that someone can solve this problem so fast. but allow me to illustrate. I think it doesn't matter how fast we can solve a problem if it's the wrong problem we're solving for. So there's literally billions of combinations you can mix this cube up into. However, there's only ever one solution. It's the same solution every single time. As it relates to your clients that walk in the door when you build financial plans, your clients don't look like this. They look like this. Every client's going to want a different vision of their future. They have different health problems. They have different family issues. And you as advisors have to solve for like this. In my opinion, the solve for the Rubik's Cube is not that impressive anymore. You can go online, download a formula. It can be solved in under 5 seconds. I don't think that's very impressive. What I do find impressive, though, is trying to solve for a unique problem that you've never seen before, because there's more ways to mix up a Rubik's Cube than there are grains of sand on Earth. Every single time I do this show, one of these cubes is a little bit different, and this is the solution that I want to go for right now. So I'm going to take this cube and match the pattern that Todd mixed up here, and I gave you about 20 seconds, Todd. Could we get the timer back out and grab that timer back down to 0 for me? And if we could get the mic back there again, I'm sorry for making you run a second time, Allison. Okay, great. I think we're good. I'm going to leave this right there so you guys can see that. And like before, 3-second countdown, but every 5 seconds, just yell out 5, 10, 15, 20 to keep us on track. Make sense? Perfect. Okay, I'll start when you get to 0. You guys ready to see this? Let's hear it. Let's see it. All right, perfect.
3, 2, 1. Okay,
Okay, what?
now.
What
5
time
more
are we
seconds.
at? Stop. How many seconds was that?
14.
Perfect, 14 seconds. Not bad. Not bad. I'm impressed myself. All right, here's the deal. All 6 sides of this cube have to match perfectly, all right? That's side number 1. That's side number 2. That's side number 3. That's side number 4. That's side number 5. And that's side number 6. Every single side of this cube matched absolutely perfectly. Thank you. Now, what's great about this, everyone, is that you all do not have to solve a Rubik's Cube in order to do effective discovery. All right? We have done it for you through our 360 Discovery program and through the Life Map. And also, additionally, if you check out your book, Principle 1 in your book talks about designing a plan. All right? So if you're looking for ways to communicate this to your clients, check out Principle 1. The flipping coins demonstration that we started with is also in this book. It's Principle 10, luck versus skill. So if you wanted to take notes, you can jot those 2 down. After we've done the design phase, we're going to go through and actually have to build the portfolio. And that's what I want to do now. And I want to share with you a couple graphs of some historical perspective on the markets. So let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at the broad markets, the broad growth of $1 in the S&P 500 since 1926. Does anyone know what $1 invested in 1926 is worth today? It's right around $6,800. It's $7,300. Had you invested $1 in the S&P. Now, had you invested that same dollar into T-bills, it'd be worth only $21. This is the fundamental difference between growth and stability. We all want high growth, and we all want that stability. The problem is this line looks like this. And we face it every single day with our clients because we all want the return of that, but we want the stability of that. So what do we do at our company? Well, we talk about markets from a holistic perspective, all right? First off, we're going to take a viewpoint from a global perspective where we're going to buy the entire market, and we're going to educate our clients that not all areas of the market have paid the same over time. We say that risk and return are related, and it takes additional risk to earn additional return, but not all areas of the market have a good risk to take. We do know from stocks versus bonds, from the market perspective, you have been historically rewarded for taking additional risk in the stock side, and that's where we want to take risk in our portfolios, not in the bond side. We use bonds as a risk dampener and not an income generator. But let's unpack this a little bit more. Let's take a look at the same growth of $1 again, but we're going to add in a few more details. So if I told you earlier that if we had just invested in large companies, $1 since 1926 would be worth $7,300 today. What if we had invested that same dollar in small companies? Does anyone know what that $1 would be worth today? It'd be $27,000 today. Let's take a look a little bit more. We'll do value and growth. What say if we had just invested $1 in the small value portion of the market since 1926? Does anyone have any idea what $1 would grow to? $72,000 today. I've had some other people ask me before, what are these other three buckets? This is 13,000, this is 5,000, and this is 2,100. So you can start to identify that not all areas of the market have rewarded investors the same. And so what we do at our company is that we buy the entire market, and then we tilt towards these different factors of return. And I want to illustrate that with a quick effect, all right? Would you mind helping me out? Give him a big round of applause. He joins me up on stage. Awesome. Roger? Nice to see you, sir.
Likewise.
Right here. All right, so Roger, I want to get something out of the way. Thanks for helping me out. We don't do any forecasting, predictions, or trying to time the market in any way, okay? That being said, I have a prediction on the backside of this board, okay? We're going to hold it right here. Are you familiar with cards?
Yes.
Perfect. We have a very easy selection. You're going to be the eyes and the ears of the audience. First off, are all of these cards different?
Apparently so.
Apparently so, exactly. Great. We're going to mix them up a little bit, and I'm just going to shuffle through the cards, and I'd like you to say stop anywhere that you want.
Stop.
Right here? Perfect. Take a look. What did we get? 5 of clubs. That's a great card. Hold on to that. Now, Roger, would you be impressed if I had a picture of the 5 of clubs on the back side of this board?
I would.
I would too. Ladies and gentlemen, on the back side of this board, I have the 5 of clubs right there in between the 6 of clubs and the 4 of clubs. I thank you. I'm just kidding, all right? But actually, it holds true to our investment philosophy, because if you think about it, a pick a card trick is kind of like picking a winning stock, because I don't know what the winner is going to be until after it's already won. So I circumvented that, and I selected all of the different options on here. Just like our investment philosophy, we start with a global purchase of all of the stocks around the world, over 10,000 individual securities across 45 countries and 37 currencies. And then we tilt the portfolio to different factors. I talked about the market portfolio, stocks versus bonds. Stocks historically have paid more than bonds. We tilt towards small because small company stocks have paid more than large. We tilt towards value because value companies have paid more than growth. We also tilt towards profit. High profit companies have paid more than low profit companies. And last but not least, we have a momentum screen on there. And what this gives us when we buy the entire market and do these tilts, it gives us a portfolio that has the highest probabilities of success in capturing market rates of return, which give your clients the highest probability of success in capturing their goals. Your goal was the 5 of clubs, 1 card out of a pack of 52. Ladies and gentlemen, the 5 of clubs. Give Roger a big round of applause. Hey, thank you, sir. Appreciate it, man. Yes, thanks, buddy. Moving right along. Okay. So if you're keeping notes from a book perspective, there's a few principles that you should write down. Principle number 12, risk and return are related. The story is in the book. Principle 15, invest globally. Principle 26, be an investor, not a speculator. There's a great story and an analogy we like to tell. If you were to be a casino owner versus a casino gambler, which one would you guys choose? Why? The odds are in their favor, exactly. Any given game you play in a casino, the casino has a greater than 50% probability of winning that game. So over time, the house is truly investing. Where the speculator or the gambler, they're merely just speculating. They might win over the short term, but they're not going to win over the long term. All right, and that's what Loring Ward does. And now, BAM, because we're one unified company, we take the house approach to building these portfolios that have the highest probability of success in capturing these market rates of return. And that's in the book as well. After we've built the portfolio, we need to protect the portfolio. You guys have 4 different portfolios now to choose from, A, B, C, and D. Portfolio A has a 50% loss rate, B has a 35% loss rate, C has a 25% loss rate, and D has a 15% loss rate. Just knowing these facts, what portfolio do we choose? D. What if I were to tell you that the time frame and the return were exactly the same for all portfolios, what 4 portfolios would you again choose? D. What's going on here? This is the S&P 500 returns for the last 49 years. The only thing different with these portfolios is portfolio A, I looked at my portfolio on a daily basis. B, I looked at my portfolio on a monthly basis. C, I looked at it quarterly, and D, I looked at it yearly. This has absolutely nothing to do with investor performance. It has everything to do with behaviors. Our behaviors drive these results. They drive the experience. Let's take a look at another one, all right? We'll go down here. Let's take a look at the win-loss rate of the S&P 500 since day one. What's the probability of getting a plus versus a minus day on any given day in the S&P 500? Does anyone know? It's almost 50-50. It's actually negative 47% versus a positive 53% on any given day. But on any given month, it's minus 37% to a positive 63%. And any given year, it's minus 25% to a positive 75%. Now, what's interesting here is that once we move away from the day and just go to the month, the odds are in our favor to be in the market versus out of the market. We are actually doing ourselves a disservice by not being invested in the market on any given month. And that only increases when we stand from the year standpoint. What's the problem? Why is it so hard for us to be invested? Well, I drew this graph a little bit earlier. The reason is this. We're going to look at a few years here. In 1974, there was a really good year. We had a plus 37% year. And in 2003, we had a plus 28%. And in 2009, we had a plus 26%. Now, obviously, we want all those years. We want to be invested in those years. The problem is, most of us missed that. Most of our clients missed those years because of the years prior. Because in 1973, this market was down 26%. In 2002, the market was down 22%. And in 2008, the market was down 37%. And from a behavioral standpoint, most of our clients got out of the market then and missed out on the year on the next year. So the big reveal is this: markets are a cycle. We call it the cycle of market emotions. It's highly, highly emotional. And I want to test that right now with someone from the audience. I need to borrow a ring from somebody in the audience, like a wedding band. Can I borrow a ring from somebody? You want to borrow it? All right, Allison, give Allison a round of applause. She joins me up on stage. Yeah, you got to come up here. You're good. We'll go over here. Got some music for you. Ladies and gentlemen, Allison, thank you. You come over here, Allison.
I did not know this involved the stage.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so Allison, check the string out. Make sure the string is one solid piece. Ladies and gentlemen, we can see Allison's ring. The important thing about the ring is that it is solid. Yes? Looks good? Okay. Allison, no matter what happens, I promise at the very end, everything will be okay because I have a plan.
Okay, great.
Okay? Great. Excellent. Make sure the ring is definitely on there, yes?
Okay, it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, you guys can see that as well? Perfect. Hold your hands together like you're holding water for me. And everyone, I want you to watch the ring on the string. As I come over from you, I'm going to shield it from you for just a second as that ring pops right off the string. We'll show the ring. There it is, all right? It was a little fast. We'll try it again, all right? All right, we'll try it one more time. Verify, though, that it's really on there for me, Allison. We're good?
Yes.
Guys in the back, some people don't actually think the ring is definitely on the string. It definitely is on the string. We're going to make this even more impossible for you. I'm going to form an X on the backside of my hand like this. Can you tie this into a knot like you're tying your shoes for me, like a bunny ear knot?
Right.
Just right on top?
A bunny knot?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, like this.
Here's the idea, everyone. I'm not going to undo the knot, so I want you to watch this. All right, we'll count to 3. 1, 2, 3.
What? Where'd my ring go, Theron?
Watch.
Seriously.
Not that fast, yeah. All right, everyone, I want you to watch right here. The ring is gone, but I want you to watch right here. I'm going to make a little cave like this, and all I do is blow, and instantly, it's back on your finger. I'm just kidding. That'd be good, though.
That would be good.
All
That'd
right.
be good.
But my hands are empty. Inside my jacket pocket is my wallet, and inside my wallet, there's a zippered compartment. It's zipped shut. Can you open up the zipper for me? And inside, I have a little gift for you, but it's in a wax-sealed envelope that has the word plan on it. I told you no matter what happened at the very end, everything will be okay, all right? Make sure that's sealed.
Yep.
Great. And rip that open and tell us what you find inside.
How do you do this, Darren?
Yeah, just tear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is my husband in there?
Is that your ring? That's her ring. Give her a big round of applause. Thanks, Allison. Sure. No, it's all good. So, like I said, this trick invokes what our clients go through from an emotional standpoint when they invest money with us. Allison invested her ring with us. It appeared, it disappeared, but at the end, the whole idea was at the very beginning, we want to set proper expectations with our clients to let them know it doesn't matter what happens to the investment performance, because we have a plan in place to help you get on track, okay? All right, we're running out of time. I'm going to go 5 minutes over. I did tell them that. You guys okay with that? Perfect. All right. So I'd like to share with you why this is so important from our client perspective. Does anyone know over the last 20 years what the S&P 500 returned over the last 20 years? It's about 7.2%. Does anyone know what the average equity fund investor returned over the exact same time frame? Isn't it interesting how we all think it's lower, and I haven't even told you the number yet? I find that interesting. The average equity fund investor only returned 5.2% over the last 20 years. This right here, everyone, that's what we call the behavior gap, okay? The good news is getting this number right here is extremely easy. The problem is getting rid of the behavior gap is extremely difficult, all right? And it's our job as advisors to help circumvent that. I feel that one of the biggest value adds from a value prop perspective is to help your clients obtain, at a minimum, the market rate of return, and of course then improve upon it. But it's studies like this to show your clients, to help educate them in ways that the broad market, they're not doing as good as they're telling you at the social party. If you referred back to the book, this is principle number 4 in the book, having a trusted advisor. The last 3 that I talked about from a protect standpoint was principle 21, sometimes the best thing to do is nothing. Principle 19, your behavior can impact your success. And principle 20 talks about a permanent loss versus a temporary decline. So check out those 3 principles as it relates to these up here. I'm going to end here with this. We're going to go back to the bridge analogy for just a second. Remember that bridge that we drew? Has anyone ever seen this document right here? Let me see where it is. This one right here. The Skittles chart. I want you to imagine for a minute that the Skittles chart, right, was the road that your bridge was on. That was the pavement, but it didn't have any guardrails. If it didn't have any guardrails and you're driving over a bridge, what lane would you drive on? You drive right down the middle. And look at that white box, that white box right there. That is a fully diversified, globally diversified portfolio that gets you the safe passage right down the middle of the road. Mathematically, you're never going to have the highest performing asset class, but you're never going to have the lowest performing asset class. What we will get you is safe passage. I'm going to end with one more thing from a time perspective. I think time is extremely important because we spend about 80 years of our life on Earth, roughly. We spend 26 years of our life sleeping, with an additional 7 years of our life trying to go to bed, for a total of 33 years of our life is spent in bed. We spend 13 years of our life working. We spend 11 years of our life looking at screens. Think about that. We spend 4.5 years of our life eating. We spend only 334 days of our life in school versus 235 days of our life in lines. Getting ready, women, 136 days. Men, 46. But what's left? What's left after all the time that we've spent? We have 8 years and 2 months to live the life that you want. My question for you is, how do you want to spend your time? I think the single biggest value add that our firm, and now combined firms, provide for all of you is to free up your time. One of our largest advisors that we have has over $1 billion under management and has 0 employees because he's able to leverage the services that are offered by our companies. And with all that freed up time, I leave that up to you to figure out how you want to spend it, whether you want to grow your practice or you want to spend it with your family. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. It was a real pleasure being here today, all right?